Have you thought about taking Social Security early? You can file as early as 62 or wait until 70. Anything in between is fair game. And there are over 500 modalities to file. That's a lot to consider. Here's how you can know for sure. If you can tell me when you're gonna die, we can tell you when to file for Social Security. It's just a math problem, but of course, life is never that easy. So figuring out when to take Social Security is done in retirement planning because we have a reasonable picture of what your future might look like, and then we can figure out the best date to file. And the longer you wait, the more money you're gonna get each month. But sometimes more is not better. In some cases, it might actually make sense for you to file early. And there are 5 situations that we're gonna cover that you might consider filing early. So here we go. Reason number 1, you're waiting for a spousal benefit. If you're married and one spouse has earned significantly more than the other spouse, this is usually in a situation where one spouse was a stay-at-home parent for many years. You might want to file early, and here's why. Even if they went back to work to increase their benefit, the spousal benefit, which is half of the higher earner's primary insurance, might actually be higher than their own benefit, even maxed out. But here's the thing, the spousal benefit can only be had once the higher earner actually files for their own Social Security, and that's usually done at age 70. So what happens between now and then? No one earns Social Security. So the lower earning spouse may actually consider filing for Social Security, which you can do as early as 62, and then wait until the higher earner files to collect half of theirs. All of those years, which could be as many as 8 years, you're now earning Social Security where before you had nothing. So here's an example. Let's assume that lower benefit is $500 a month. In a year, we have $6,000 that now you've earned. And if you wait about 8 years between, say, 62 and their age 70, if you're similar age, we're talking about almost $50,000 in extra income that you've now earned that was just sitting on the table waiting for you. Now, there are some other rules involved with this, so just make sure you understand the whole process. Okay, the second reason you may wish to file early is maybe you've been made aware of your expiration date. What do I mean? Maybe you find out something about your health that leads you to believe you're not gonna live as long as you thought you were. And maximizing Social Security only really works if you live long enough to hit that break-even point. And the years that you wait to maximize your Social Security are years that you're not earning Social Security and money that could have been in your pocket. So how many years of earning a higher amount of Social Security does it take to make up for all of the years for not earning it at all? If you're waiting until 70, it's somewhere between 12 and 13 years. So if you have reason to believe you're not gonna live that long between 82 and 83, then you might wanna take it earlier. And so again, this could be as early as 62, but can be any time between then. Okay, so reason number 3 for filing early is maybe the increase is not life-changing. Obviously, the main reason for delaying Social Security is to earn more. Between the ages of your minimum retirement age, which we know is 62, and your full retirement age, which for most people is 66 or somewhere around 67, there's somewhere between a 25% to a 30% increase to your benefit. But beyond that, from 68, 69, and age 70, you're receiving an 8% a year bonus for having waited to file your Social Security. At age 70, however, that is your maximum amount. You can't earn more beyond age 70. So if you've been a really good saver throughout the course of your life, then maybe this bump is not gonna be big enough to create any kind of meaningful lifestyle change. In 2022, the Social Security Administration defines the difference between your maximum benefit at FRA compared to your maximum benefit at 70 to be somewhere around $10,000 a year. And while anyone would appreciate an extra $10,000 a year, having enough assets may already allow you to live your life in a way then an extra $10,000 is not going to completely change your life. The one important consideration here is that cost of living adjustments are based off of the higher amount. That means that the additional $10,000 in the first year becomes bigger in the second and even bigger in the third, fourth, fifth, and so forth. So your total lifetime benefit can actually be significantly higher by waiting. You just have to understand the numbers. All right, the next reason for filing early may actually be volatility. If your retirement date coincides with a year that the markets are really rough, maybe like this year, then it might be beneficial to tap your Social Security a little bit earlier. When you're retired, your portfolio becomes one of the places that provides you with monthly income. Let's assume for a moment that this is your portfolio. And coming up to retirement, things are going just fine. And now you're retired and you have to start making portfolio withdrawals. And let's assume you have to make a withdrawal here and here and here as the months go on and your portfolio continues to drop. You may be effectively making those losses permanent by selling investments during these times. And so you have to be able to consider this in the grand scheme of things. Now, a good retirement plan would have this accounted for. We'll talk more about that in future videos. Now, depending on the size of your portfolio, the reduction in your Social Security benefit may actually be much less than the potential recovery of those assets. And not only that, but also the opportunity for future gains on those monies as well. So drawing a little earlier from Social Security in a strategic year may actually give your portfolio the time that it needs to recover back to a healthier place. Pros and cons to both, so make sure you do good due diligence or work with a group of advisors that do this for their clients every day like us. Okay, so the next reason is actually a bonus reason. We talked about how you can earn an extra 8% annually by waiting from your full retirement age to age 70. But what happens if cost of living adjustments are higher than 8%? Currently, the estimate for the Social Security cost of living adjustment is somewhere around 8.7%. And you only earn that if you're already taking Social Security. So if you're on the cusp of reaching age 70, you might want to consider filing it a little bit earlier if the COLA is going to give you a bigger bump. Not only will you earn a little bit more each month, but you'll also be getting payments months and months sooner. That's money in your pocket. Just make sure you watch out for what the real COLA number will be. The environment is always changing, and so you want to make sure that you're staying up with the rules. Or if you want, you can subscribe to our channel because we stay on top of this stuff regularly, and we're going to create more videos as things change in the future. And in the meantime, take a look at this video that we're going to put right on the screen for you. And until then, stay wise and stay wealthy.